Hello everybody, my name is Thalion and welcome back to the bottom of the well. So this is where we're going to continue this apocalyptic Alice in Wonderland type visual novel. Not sure, apart from just names, how much it actually connects to Alice in Wonderland, but we'll see. Last time we left off, Alice had just come out of the subway station, actually, into a city filled with radioactive ash. So I guess we'll just have to decide now what to do. I wanted to check on my apartment since it was so close. No, because I would have already looted that. For the same thing I want to do in the first place. Get the hell out of town. I can't speak. What did it look like? The streets, awful. Ruined buildings everywhere. Charred by fire, most of them. We had to pick our way out between cars and debris and bodies. Who is we? You said you were alone. There were so many bodies, it made me sick just to think about it. Must have been pretty difficult to travel. Yeah, that would be. Just bodies everywhere, oh, God, I gotta move that there. God, why are you in my way? Yes, although it was oddly inconsistent, I think my building was the last one directly affected by the blast. About a block in the opposite direction, there were mainly intact buildings, as much as you could call them intact. Still standing. So, were you the source of the bombs, Alice? Were they trying to bomb you? Is this a conspiracy theory? What is going on? What about others? Were there any survivors on the street? Yeah, there were others. A lot of them were a lot worse off than me. Some were blind. Hey, they could have been that way before it happened. Others were burned, broken, or in shock. There's just nothing I could do. Where was the government? Probably exploded. Have you not been paying attention? I don't know. Probably exploded. I hadn't heard a single ambulance siren since the event. For all we knew, there was nothing left. Oh, well, thank you for making that goofy face. Did you figure out where to go? I started coming across survivors soon enough. People like me, some with backpacks and some with the clothes on their backs. It was absolutely wretched to see them. Some were staying put there, but most were moving. Rumor had it there was an evacuation center set up at the college. What, like your college? Yeah, talk about going back to where you started. Go on. How did it go? It is her dream. She kind of just everything that... All of her reference points are going to be the reference points of the dream. It was pretty slow going, and even though I tried to keep out of the black rain, there wasn't all that much we could do. But at least we had one goal, and others tried to help us get there. Who is us? I guess this was written in case you went either way, and maybe you survived no matter which way you went. I don't know. I made a breathing mask out of a spare shirt, even though I'm not sure how much it helped. So it was real. The evacuation center. Not so fast. There was a slight obstacle still on the way. Was it a cave troll? Oh, what's that? The river. There's a river? Not something I had thought about either. I didn't live anywhere near it, so whenever I crossed it, I just drove over it. But there was a geographical reality. So, I mean, the bridges were surely still there. True, but when we approached them, we realized they were occupied. By whom? I'm not sure. I saw them from afar and kind of ducked into cover. I immediately saw that they weren't good news. They had guns and they were harassing people who come up onto the bridge. I think they were mugging them. So it's either the Division or the rioters in the Division. Did they let anyone pass? Yes, some, but I didn't know what the price was or if they had some other criteria for letting people through. So what did you do? I decided to wait nearby and see what would happen. I went up to them and confronted them. There are other bridges across. I went downriver to find one. That seems like the most logical thing. And what's to say the other bridges didn't have similar setups? Seems like a likely thing to do. I was willing to take a chance. I wasn't going to tangle with a group of armed men, even if I lost some time. How much time did you lose? Well, that's the thing. I walked about a day. Oh wait, I'm running out of rations then. Through incredibly terrible terrain towards the nearest bridge. Quakes had made some riverbanks collapse at most places, and the river was for some reason churning, making it impossible to ford. And when we finally arrived, okay, one sec. How do I eat my food? Okay. Guess I can't eat my food. I guess I'll have it when I need it. It was broken. Oh god, my food's gone. It was broken. Okay, so that's how you know up there if it's used up all your food. Yes, it had collapsed. Oh jeez, no hope of getting over? Well, it collapsed, but not totally. Half of it was dragging the current. Some cars still hanging on by some form of magic. They use the word magic for pretty much everything in this one. Maybe it would be possible to balance across, but it looked pretty risky. I was so damn disappointed and tired, though, that it actually felt like a good idea. How about just backtracking instead? Okay, let me look at my Alice real quick. Oh, wait, can I look at how my Alice is? Okay, I don't have food. Ah, crap. Used up all my food. Can I look at what my Alice is right now? Nope. I think I have good athletics. I invested in athletics. No, damn it! I had gotten this far, I was crossing the freaking river. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Such a bad idea, Alice. Look here, you little shit. I wasn't sure how much longer I could go on without making a stupid decision, or maybe this was my last straw. Well, I'm probably gonna die. Thanks, game. What was your plan? Take it slow and careful. I edged my way across in fits and starts, but it only held a few cars. But it still held a few cars, didn't it? What difference did one more human make? When it started creaking, I picked up my feet. I was too far along to turn back. You gonna die? Told you so. I scrambled up on a car, and that started sliding. I tried to grab hold of something in a panic scramble and managed to steady myself against a piece of railing. And then I was yanked bodily and violently backwards. My coat had somehow snagged on the car, and I couldn't even see how. I barely had time to scream before I was already under the water, seeing nothing but bubbles in the rapidly disappearing light. Jesus, Alice. I wouldn't recommend drowning to anyone, but luckily it was just the first breath that hurt. After that, I just kind of drifted off. And, okay, I guess I got a bad end, and thus concluded my dream. Well, that was interesting. What do you think? I think it felt incomplete, like there was something missing. There wasn't the way it was supposed to end, you know? Thank you, Prince of Persia. That's not the way the story went. Dreams are supposed to end in certain ways. This one was, I think. I felt like it was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't listening closely enough. Maybe you can try again next night. See if you hear the same recording. Speaking of which frequency was this on? That's, the weird part. When I tried to see, I realized I hit the right channel, and that it was in fact reading Alice in Wonderland. And this isn't some obscure number station frequency on the AM bands. Well, maybe I'll dream it next night again anyways. That's the good thing with dreams. You can always dream them again. And maybe something different the second time around. Well, that's not entirely true. I mean, you can dream something again. I love sequential dreams. I feel like it's a huge adventure. I love it when I have dreams that continue off of each other, and there's sequels to them. Oh god, it's so much fun. And it feels so fulfilling when you're at the end of it. I'm just kind of branching off into a weird tangent here. But sometimes you want to recapture a dream that you were dreaming, either when you just wake up or the next night, and you just want to recapture, but you can't, and that's the worst feeling. Okay. So, I guess, man, I hit a bad end. Or an incomplete end. Well, I'll try not to die next time. Does it not tell me which ending I have? Usually games like this do. Games with a lot of multiple endings. Okay, I got an achievement called Better Prepared and an achievement called First Death. Okay, so apparently there's going to be a lot. It seems like there's probably, and this is just me guessing, I have zero evidence of this. There's probably a true ending. There's probably a ending that's not the true ending, like a bad end, a proper bad end, and then there's multiple death ends. So, I want to get to the true ending. I want to give it another go. Can I not reload the save? I swear to God. Oh my god, can I not keep my other Alice? Oh, that sucks. Oh my god, I have to go through it all again. Well, whenever I get back to that part, I'll let you guys know. Okay, this is not exactly where we were, but I went with I read some of the skill descriptions a bit better, and I started to understand there was a career stat for Alice. It talks about how it might open certain things venues, so I actually maxed that skill out, and it gave me this here when I decided to choose my inventory, which is an university ID, which will probably let me through the bridge into the college. So that's the point where I'm gonna meet back up with you guys, because I'm not gonna try to go through that insane like freaking acrobatics bullshit with the falling cars and everything, but everything else is going to be the same until I get to that bridge, because I wanted to keep this first playthrough somewhat consistent before I go into exploring every single branch of the game, which I may or may not do on video. We'll just see how it goes. But I want to see how this goes, and I want to see if I can get to the college that way. So I'll catch you guys when I'm there. Bye. Okay, and we're back. So, I actually also got a map for being so career-minded and academic and supply-y, because I actually ended up cutting out some of the, I cut out dating, because I have a feeling that, the dating skill is only useful if you go look for chests, and I cut out social because I ended up going solo when I went east. So just trying to think about what I did in my first playthrough and how it might affect my skills. So I ended up getting a map, which opened up some other options that I did not take. So, here we are. I go up to them and confront them on the bridge. Brave. I wasn't going to let them scare me. So, what were they? Just thugs? Part opportunists, part worried townsfolk. They claimed that they were protecting their part of the town from riffraff who were coming down from the city trying to steal all their uncontaminated food. That this was just a kind of concerned citizens roadblock. Conveniently in the way towards the main evacuation center. Yeah, but, well, I mean, they had a lot of guns, and I didn't really detect a lot of malice in them. It didn't seem like they particularly wanted to use them. So what did you do? I told them I had enough food and didn't need to steal theirs. Ooh, that's a sketchy decision. That's kind of a sketchy decision, because they might try to take it. I tried talking my way through. I invested decently in social skills. Ah, yes, the famous fast talk. How did that go? I tried various versions of begging and cajoling, but they heard it all. Either I had supplies to pass or I didn't. That was it. Oh, I have supplies to pass. Yeah. I have enough food. I opened my backpack and showed them my food, although it felt like a monumentally foolish thing to do. Kinda, yeah. Still, if they wanted to rob me, they all had the guns anyway. That's really true. They could just shoot her dead anyway. Protection action fell out there. Just as I was going through, one of them stopped me and asked me if I had any more than that. I knew they were actually highwaymen. Bastards. I didn't really have a lot of leeway for lying or being creative, not with all his guns around me. The bastard grabbed my pack when I remained quiet and looked through it. Under the eyes of his boss, he emptied out everything but one day's meager provisions and called it a bridge tax. What a fucking shithead. He took my radio! He took my radio! Oh no, he didn't take my radio. What a bastard. No kidding. I was just hoping I wouldn't need it, and they did let me go afterwards, albeit with a much lighter pack. Wow, what a bunch of bastards. But hey, apocalypse is anyone's game. Shit goes down in the apocalypse, yo. So the evacuation center. My college. Oh, so the evacuation center. My college. I'm not surprised I dreamed about it. It's like at the center of my life right now. It was still in the dream a big part of my life. That's where I worked after all. Is this the part of the dream? Is this the part where the dream turns weird and the college starts sprouting legs and begins smoking a hookah or something? Unfortunately, no. That would have been a pretty welcome respite. Even so, it must have been a respite. Proof of that society survived, the United States were completely obliterated, etc., etc. Speaking of, what did happen to everyone? I don't know, everything was still rather hazy. News was sporadic and often hearsay. There was a lot of talk about a missile defense system that no one knew we even had and that apparently managed to shoot down something akin to 90% of all the enemy warheads. That's convenient. Based on what I was seeing, I don't really see the difference. 10% was clearly more than enough to wreak unimaginable havoc. Hell, 1% probably would have been enough. Anyway, go on. I want to get to the end. What happened at the center? At the gates, there was a screening process going on. A big plastic corridor where we were all told to undress and go through this super cold shower, after which men in gas masks and plastic coverings ran a Geiger counter over us. Seriously? So, what happened? There were 2 doors at the end of the corridor. Beyond the men in masks with guns. Whether their Geiger counters frazzled and complained, you went right. Whenever it was quiet, you went left. That sounds weirdly Holocausty. Like, that's... oh, man. Like, with concentration camp entrance. Oh, wow. That is not a good image in my mind. I went left. They gave us new threads. Honestly, most of them looked like prison garb, but at least they were not radioactive. All of our old stuff would be disposed of. I think they just gave them to the poor people going right. I saw them through the fence, heading off to God knows where in their old clothes, many of them too tired, too sick to even walk upright. That's really sick. I can't even imagine how many millions of casualties they had to deal with. I suppose this was just them being pragmatic. Ugh. Anyway, what earthly paradise were you led to then? They had set up shelters for us in the dorms and in some of the lecture halls, indoors with proper protection and daily washing and clean food. We were scheduled to stay there for just a little while, until they could relocate us somewhere safer. It all seemed very organized, in control. So, was Chess and his sister there? Wait, sister? Maybe I skipped past that when I was continuing, I don't know. No, I searched, harboring some vague hope that maybe they made it, but no. I suppose it was a long shot anyway. Still, not an unhappy ending, I suppose. Was it the end? No. No, it wasn't. Do go on. Do you help rebuild society or something? How much longer is this stream? Should we continue tomorrow, maybe? Like a part 2 or something? No. It's almost over, but this is when it gets weird. Remember that music I heard on the radio before falling asleep? Yes. So I was taking a walk between buildings and enjoying the fine weather since they had all given a fallout all clear. They sprayed the lawns daily and checked them for rads when I heard it again. Kind of like you'll turn the sound of thunder into explosions in a dream? No. Or maybe, actually, yes. That's not a bad analog. The music was a connection between the dream and the real world. When I heard it, it was like I suddenly remembered that I once had the dream I was currently having. I remember in that dream, think of how incredibly unlikely that was. It was weird, okay? Dreams are weird. So the music, where did it come from? It came from the admin building. It's this big place with the rector's office and a bunch of other offices, no teaching spaces. Off to the side a bit close to the stadium. I shouldn't have heard it by any means, yet somehow I did. I walked closer, but that building wasn't a part of our turf. The doors were all under lock and key, and there was a fence cutting off from the main entrance. But I knew something from there. Okay, so what did you do? So is this going to be a thing like, oh, is her life here with the Mad Hatter actually the dream, and this is the real world that she's trying to escape from? I just knew that there was some connection there, some truth hidden in those tunes, something that would allow me to wake up from this painful nightmare, because that's what it was, every single aching, painful, awful moment of it. But it was beyond locked doors, inside a building presumably filled with men with guns. You've got this far. Was there really nothing you could do? Well, since I worked out of it, I did happen to know of a smallish security flaw in its construction, or it wasn't actually that I happened to know about it. It was more like I had to consciously decide to look there for ways to break in when I first started working there, exactly in order to allow myself to get in it when I needed to. I'm not sure if that makes any sense. It's like, that's so weird. That is such a weird setup. You're retroactively re-remembering your dream that you had in this dream, and therefore change your life in order to have the keys when you had the dream again. So she's time traveling in her dream. That's all we got. She's time traveling in her dream. Whenever she has to redo the dream, she's editing things. That's what we've got, kind of. Exactly. This is the weirdest goddamn dream, and I've got a lot of weird dreams. Anyway, what next? Well, the security flaw was that one of the electronic locks on one of the sides of the door would actually just open if anything vaguely magnetic was passed over it. So I borrowed a metal platter from the cafeteria and swiped myself in. Took all of 3 seconds. Nice. So you got in. Guards, alarms? No. Nothing. Just the music. Even louder. I followed it upstairs to the room of one of the professors of archaeology specializing in South American history, I believe. Mayans, specifically. It was pretty... That's funny, because Mayan apocalypse. I was pretty aware that it was possible whoever was in there might just raise the alarm, and God knows what they'd throw at me then. Maybe in where they'd throw me then, maybe in with the sick. But the music, I had no choice. I opened the door. There was a man there. He was sitting behind the professor's desk, feet on the table, bobbing his head to the music. He had a head of white and a thick beard and was wearing a ratty old band t-shirt and jeans. Around his forehead he had a scarf. Around his forehead, he had a scarf. Okay. When I opened the door, I was greeted with an unmistakable smell of pot. His joint fell out of his mouth when he noticed me. So it's the caterpillar smoking hookah. Interesting. One of the staff? No, but he definitely did not look government either. We stared at each other over the table. After a few moments, he picked up his blunt, inspecting it for damage. Ascertaining that it was fine, he offered it to me. Smoke? Did you accept? After all that had happened? Hell yes! He offered me a seat and then handed me the joint. He was an older man in his late 60s or early to mid 70s, but he still looked sprightly, an old hippie. There was no malice in his eyes. He looked tired and sad mostly. This is pretty weird. Call me Rabbit, he said. Sorry, don't mean to quote directly, but no, actually I do mean to quote directly. I remember it all so clearly. Okay, so wait, it's a mixture of maybe the caterpillar and the white rabbit? Just like mixing, and I got an achievement called Follow the White Rabbit, so there we go. Don't let me stop you, Alice. We just quietly shared the blunt for a while, and then he started talking. He had a very pleasant, mellow voice. I fought in the war, you know. Vietnam, he said, taking the joint back and inhaling. I was really good at what I did. Ranger stuff, behind the lines, nasty, nasty stuff. He frowned. Weirdest dream ever. You sure it wasn't a member of the staff? I'm sure. He just continued, ignoring my apparent confusion. When I got back, I was pretty messed up. Everyone hated me, too. I couldn't understand it. I had fought to protect the U.S. I was supposed to be a goddamn hero, like my pops before me. But instead, all these people my age were protesting, burning flags, hating, and I couldn't let go of what I'd done either. He smiled at me and then laughed like it was some kind of joke. You don't know where this is going, do you? So he was a traumatized war vet. You don't have any of those in your family, do you? No, I don't even know any modern war vets. We're very anti-war in my family. But this character, and I mean he was a character, like a walking stereotype, but he still felt so very real. Heavy, present, trying to smoke away his trouble 4 or 5 decades afterwards. Deep scars. And he was right, I was even more confused than when I had come there. I wonder where you cooked him up. Seems so oddly anachronistic. This is when he leaned in under the table and took out 2 things. One was safe. One was safe. One of the small portable ones. One was a safe with a 4-digit pin code. The other was a heavy, ancient-looking 1911 semi-automatic handgun. Oh shit! Oh god, put your hands up, girl! Shoot the motherfucker. You're drawn to this music, aren't you? He said. The gun in the box just lay there like he forgot about them the moment he took him out. Well, it's not the music, really. It's what's underneath it. Old sounds, older than you'd think, held together by God knows what. Magic, as far as I know. The same thing that's apparently holding everything in this entire dream world together. My great-great-great-grandpops found it far down south. That's what my dad said, at least. He used it after his war to help him sleep at night. Some kind of old, like, Mayan-type stuff? Prophecy stuff? Hey, an actual Mayan apocalypse music box. I turned it on and holy shit, he wasn't kidding. The dreams it gave you, of a future all rosy and beautiful. Peace, no war. The East and West living in harmony, learning from each other. Free love, free drugs, rock and roll. Every night I could fall into this future vision, living a guilt-free life. Some kind of time travel device? But his vision sounds pretty utopian. Okay, so it's not describing necessarily their world, it seems like. So that's okay. Yeah, he was getting to that. But then one night it all changed. Instead of waking up to some peace and love, I woke up to, well, kinda a version of this. He waved out the windows, which had a nice view of the downtown area, still smoking. The bombs had fallen. I panicked. I mean, I had figured out already that it was some kind of prophetic device, but since the future looked so rosy, all I was doing was taking out a bit of it in advance while the rest of history caught on. Except now something had changed. Fascinating. So I did the worst mistake a person can possibly do. I brought it to the government. I knew there was no other way to convince them my vision, which I had had for a solid month straight now, was true. I imagined to get up to my old buddies from the CIA through my military connections. I set them up by the recorder. I walked them through the vision. They were convinced. And they also knew something about what had caused it. Some secret scheme they'd all been cooking up which had clearly backfired. Wow, okay. So there's a giant government conspiracy theory as well as a magical Mayan box as well as like some other dream world wacky shit. I don't know what's going on with this game anymore. I'm okay with it though. I'm not sure if this explains all of recent history or does the exact opposite. Here's the thing. They would have happily thrown me to the dogs after getting a hold of the thing, but the problem was it had attached to me. Maybe to my bloodline, maybe something else. God knows, I was the dreamer. It showed me my dreams, which granted was the future of mankind, but still, they needed me. So wait, if they could predict things, why couldn't they predict 9/11? Or the fiasco of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan? I know you have a lot of questions, but we don't really have time for those. He glanced at a clock and then picked up the handgun. I tensed. 10 minutes I'm scheduled to wake up, and when I do, everyone else attached to the dream also wakes up, including you. No. You have to ask him about the radio signal. Why was it on a public radio? And the box, what's up with the box? I did. And he laughed and said, it's not. It's never been, and it never will be. The recording is locked in the deepest vaults of the Pentagon, somewhere next to the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail. Wow, that exploded really quickly into Indiana Jones. I didn't expect that to be put up so quickly. So, well, next time we're going to be in the bottom of the well, search for the Ark of the Covenant. They run it once a year in a very controlled environment. You wouldn't believe the controls they have, the secrecy. There's no possible way you could have heard it. That is incredibly unhelpful. He added with a twinkle in his eye as he lifted up the pistol. Then again, my old grand, etc. pops did reportedly say that he heard it calling to him through stone, rock, and soil from an unexcavated burial chamber. And my pops said he heard it playing from the attic the day after his dad's funeral, even though that was just impossible. Maybe it just calls for its next dreamer when it knows the previous one is on his last leg. Shit. Hey, wait. The strong box. That was the bloody weirdest part. He indicated the box with his gun and then looked at it. I will give you 2 minutes to open this box. If you're the new dreamer, which I think you might be, that shouldn't be any problem for you. And then he just got up to finish the blunt by the window. What? That makes no sense. How could you possibly know that? What did you do? It seems like I have an important choice here. So I can try to talk to him to maybe get more information, but I only have 2 minutes. I can get the hell out of here, which doesn't seem like it would really solve much, or I can try to open the box. Well, what's in the box? Okay, let's do it. Let's try to open the box, because I'm curious. Okay, so 4 digits, that's a lot of possible combinations. Better than nothing. Oh! Oops, I messed up. I forgot that it had a pin lock on it. I thought it was going to be, like, magically sealed. What I needed to do, and I don't think I can do it now, was I needed to talk to him and possibly get the pin. Because I think I could prove it to him that if he gives me the pin now and it happens in a second instance of the dream, then he could know that I'm a dreamer. Kind of like just going back in time, getting the answers you need, whatever. Typed in random numbers, but how was I to have any chance of getting the right combo? I gave up. And please tell me he gave you some kind of hint. Well, he said a weird thing. He said, and I quote, "Once you know the code, you will never unknow it." And then he laughed like it was the funniest thing. I had no idea how to react to that. And then he brought the gun up to his temple and fired. Holy shit! And then I woke up. Wow, okay, that was quite some dream. I'm not sure that was a dream. I don't think it was either. Okay, we're all just jumping to crazy wacky conclusions now. I guess at this point you would be really freaked out. So what was it then? A prophecy? Are we all going to die? No, I think I just saw a test. Maybe one of their missile shield? What the fuck's a missile shield? Who knows what they use it for? Whatever it's called. It's as top secret as they can get. This is crazy. I'm almost starting to believe it. What do you mean by calling it Streamer? I don't know. All I know is that I have to find him again, Rabbit, before they find me. Why would they look for you, and who's they anyway? Because they need a dreamer, but I have this feeling that this is not what the thing was meant for. Rabbit knows it too. There's something else. Something else in manufacturing monstrous future scenarios that may any day come true once they know the perfect formula. What else could power be used for? Funny, I don't know yet, but I intend to find out. It almost feels like I've already... Wait. What? Nothing. Just for a second I felt like I could hear it again. The music. Like this was one of those decision-making moments that determine my future. As if it will somehow affect a dream I'm going to have had. Careful with your future perfect tense there. Sorry, I know the feelings aren't... I just get the feeling things aren't over yet. Oh shit, someone's at the door. BRB. Okay, no, Alice, don't do it. Nope, bad decision. Bad day. Alice, are you there? God damn it. Yep, okay, so there was something poorly done. Did I just expand the story? Like, am I going to start over with a dream? Or... Okay, so I found a new ending. This is so... Okay, God, this game has pulled me in such a weird way. Okay. So I got better prepared 2 of 5. Does it mean I have to get 5 different endings before I can get the true ending? I don't know. But this episode has gone on long enough. I'm going to leave this here. This has been The Bottom of the Well. And you can find this game wherever I link it in the description below because I still haven't looked up. I'm playing straight through because I'm just so hooked on the game. But thank you everybody for watching. I am really enjoying this game. I hope you guys are enjoying it. This is the first visual novel I've done on the channel. I don't know how it's going to be received, so please give me your input in the comments below. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys want out of the channel, what kind of videos you'd like to see, what kind of games you'd like to see on the channel. So please let me know. Please tell me. I really want it to be kind of an open dialogue between you guys, between yourselves, and between you guys and me on the channel as we're building this community. But again, thank you for watching. This has been The Bottom of the Well. If you liked the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to keep up with my newest videos. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thalion out. Bye-bye. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. Oh, the background in the sky. Oh. The worst part are the seeds. And that's where the portal to hell is located. A direct uplink to hell.